The pressures on those within the farming sector can be intense. For many, it's an unrelenting struggle to stay on top of financial obligations with shifting markets, fluctuating prices and extreme weather patterns. These, combined with an often quite isolated working environment, can create mental health problems. The Rural Support Trust is a charitable organisation funded by MPI, grants and donations. It works to assist individuals and rural communities with a service that's free and confidential.
In recent times, it's been recognised that we can do other things than just support people in climatic events. We're seeing more and more personal crisis and financial crises coming to the fore. So that in effect does cause stress and anxiety and depression. In the last year, I've dealt with 15 cases here in Hawke's Bay, and of that, 11 have had some mental health concern. The Rural Support Trusts get involved on a practical level around fronting the issue with the client, with the farmer, and then coordinating with the appropriate people thereafter, whether that be farm management consultants, mental health representatives, doctors, and so forth. Just being able to listen and understand and talk with the client himself.
But actually, when you go through what John talks about, and if you do the whole thing, it's really quite interesting.
Yeah.
They haven't got his no John Curran website on that one. Oh, no,
yeah,
there it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Depression.org. Yeah, okay. So I think farmers do find it hard to ask for help. Historically, they have always been able to fix things, and they've felt that they're quite resilient, and we think they are. However, this is a bit different in the fact that you can't necessarily fix it unless you put your hand up and ask for help. The other work that we've been doing is improving the literacy in mental health with those 101 mental health 101 programs.
They're fabulous.
Yeah. There are particulars that can be identified, and they are where people stop being connected, stop socialising, are quite withdrawn, they're not sleeping well, and their diet has probably changed. That is a major concern or a major identifier of mental health and depression. What I tend to do to help is to listen, to understand, and then connect them with the appropriate community health people, the appropriate GP, connecting them with family, connecting them with neighbour, connecting them with people that they respect and trust and can share that problem with. David Hunt is a good source of connect to help with people, and the fact that he's been through that himself.
We're in sort of central/southern Hawke's Bay. We milk 650 cows here. Used to be a winter milk farm, traditional town milk farm. This year's the first year we've gone away from that, gone to seasonal. We have 2 other blocks. I've suffered from depression. Those who were closest to me were telling me that I wasn't listening. Yeah, I was, in my mind, I was fine, but they didn't seem to think so. A couple of years ago, a colleague of mine made a bad decision and took his own life. That shook me to the core, because for the grace of God was me 12 months before. And I just came home and spoke with my wife and family and said, I just feel compelled that I need to do something about this, because too many farmers are taking their lives and no one's talking about it. Well, I couldn't function as a human being, definitely couldn't function as a farmer. On my worst days, I couldn't get out of bed. I didn't work for 12 months, couldn't work for 12 months, couldn't drive for 4 months. Spent the first part of the time leading up to it only getting 3 hours sleep at night, not sleeping, not eating, losing weight, to then the reverse happening, not being able to get out of bed, not being able to work. It was huge. It was at the worst extreme, I think. I've been to doctors over the years with this complaint, and they always ask you that question, do you feel suicidal? And the answer's always been no. But the one day I was asked, the answer wasn't no. huge love from wife and family. Finding a doctor who actually completely understood my illness and huge caring for me. A very good counsellor, which I spent a lot of time with, which surprised me that I could get anything from a counsellor, because real men don't go to counselling. I also had Keyman Insurance, so insurance companies don't like you being off work. They want you back at work, and through the insurance company a whole lot of doors opened up with help from occupational therapists to all sorts of things. So in the end I was one of the lucky ones that found a huge amount of help that got me up and going, but it took a long time. People give me a call from time to time. My advice is, firstly, go to a GP. You must go to a GP, and if you don't get what you think you need from your present GP, then I suggest you go and knock on the door of another GP. And in my view, medication first, counselling second. There's no quick fix to this. Medication's not a quick fix, counselling's not a quick fix, but you have to start somewhere. One of my mates told me to take some hard nut pills, and that's just about the most worst advice you can give anybody. No, lend them an ear, listen to them. Just probably pick up the phone and have a yarn if you're a neighbour, or knock on the door and just say, look, Joe, you're not looking good. Can I give you a hand? Anything you need. Conversation, got to start from somewhere.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.